Good, good.
Well, we got you fed before we started tonight. I've had a lot of comments, people talking about seeing us with our gumbo and all, talking about how good it looks. I said, well, it looks good. If you want to know what it looks like, come right on down here and see Chef Ernie and of course all the staff here at Cafe Nola. We really appreciate all they do for us and let us come and do this here. And we're doing it in what they call the library of the motel here. But Cafe Nola, the motel, it's kind of all together anyway. So we just want to say thanks to them. We want to say thanks right off the bat tonight to our sponsors, Rhodes Jewelers, Cafe Nola, of course, Triangle Chevrolet Buick, Driftway Supermarket, Southern Owner Services, Merrifield and Pilcher, Doctors Medical Center, and Piggly Wiggly. Well, last week we took a ride to Holmes County in the rain. It was kind of a nasty day. It got a little better as the game progressed, but we had a light drizzle as the game started over there in Holmes County. It was different. We all were down in, if people have ever been to the rodeo over there, they know that on that south end, they have those stables and all that in there. You guys were up in there before the game, trying to stay out of the weather the best you could. And, we ended up in the stands. We had up in the press box, but your guys needed a place to go, so we said, here, you guys come in here. We went out and sit in the rain, so they were able to, get in that booth up there. I felt sorry for them. I mean, when you go places like we do, and we get to go and look at some of these other places, and we have the Taj Mahal where we get to call games. I'm telling you, and I tried to encourage those fellows that I got to talk to several of them, and they never told me. One guy told us, he says, best thing could happen to this press box here, somebody would do it, thinking 99 in it, and we could maybe get a new one built. But I told him, I said, don't be optimistic. I said, you may have to pay a little more taxes to get it done, but they don't have the pleasure that we do. We get a lot of money coming from the south end, the beaches, and people here. Not a lot of tourists in Holmes County, not really, but they treated us well over there. And I have to say, thank you to those folks over there, very accommodating to us. Asked us if we needed anything. I just said, for the rain to stop, but that didn't happen. Well, as we kicked that ball off, like I said, it was kind of wet, it was kind of damp, and things went our way at the end, but it was a struggle there at first. Like you had talked about last week, you said those boys were going to come to play, and it looked like that the first and second quarter, they were really tough.
Yeah, we kicked off first, and they went 3 and out, and we went right down the field and scored, so we was up. Missed the extra point, we went up 6-0, and then we held them again, 3 and out, and we ended up with a crazy call over there on their sidelines, which we hadn't found yet for unsportsmanlike conduct. But when you're on the road, you got to kind of watch your hand gestures and keep your mouth closed and just play the game. But we ended up holding them, and then we should have went up 2 scores, and didn't do a very good job, and so we ended up down. They scored back to back. We went down a score, and once we tied it up and scored right before the halftime, that kind of broke our back, I thought.
Yeah, that kind of, you just kind of see it in the team itself. But before that, it was kind of tough. But there was that unsportsmanlike conduct. We all kind of looked around, everybody in the crowd, we're all kind of, well, did somebody say something, gesture like you said? Just never could really tell what went on, but it was not a good time to have that kind of call. We're going to come back in just a moment and talk more about what went on last Friday night, and then, of course, down the road this Friday night as you get to come home and sit in Yates Memorial Field. But we're going to take a 1-minute break right here, and we'll come right back. People on YouTube can hear us, right?
Yeah. Tell them to make sure they can hit the bell icon now.
Hit the bell icon on
YouTube.
Okay, tell everybody out there, Joseph's telling me, tell everybody to hit the bell icon on YouTube. And tell your friends and neighbors that we're on YouTube. We'll be on YouTube Friday night. So Stick around for that.
10 seconds.
We take a little pause here, but we're getting ready to go back on the
5
air
seconds.
on CEP. And we're back here at Cafe Nola with Coach White of the Walton Braves. Like you said, at halftime, we had kind of got our feet back in the game pretty solid, I thought. And as the clock ended, and of course the bands came out and did their little thing, and it was, y'all were back over under the cattle prod thing there, and it was still sprinkling at that point a little bit. And the field was wet. They kept throwing the balls in and out, wiping them, but you could tell even our ball handling, you know, it was damp out there, wet, and so on both sides were trying to hold on to the ball the best they could. But it ended up there that as it started the third quarter, the Braves came out the way they looked on the field, and then of course the Blue Devils, when they came out, you could just kind of, I don't know, I could just kind of feel that maybe things were going to go their way this second half, you know, and I think even the crowd felt that way. But things started off there. Tell us a little bit what you saw out there.
Yeah, we, like I said, we was down 14-6 and got it tied up about midway through the second quarter. And then they was trying to do some things that they don't normally do, and they threw the ball, and we actually intercepted it on about the 10-yard line. So we actually went 90 yards in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And took the lead right before halftime. We actually scored with no time on the clock. And they had to kick off to start the second half, and they tried an onside kick, and we recovered it. We went right down the field. So in a matter of about 2 minutes of actual playing time, we went from being down 6 to up 14. And then they had to kind of get out of their game plan. You know, they couldn't just line up and run the ball like they wanted to, and they couldn't stay in that little 3-3 stack defense. They had to spread out because they was having a hard time covering us. But you know, once we got up 2 scores and all the players that they have going both ways, it kind of took a toll on them.
Yeah, you could see them. They were getting tired. A lot of hands on their hips, and you know, because they kept looking to their coaches and they were trying to figure out what could we do. But I think they were just overpowered by us as the time progressed, and so the Braves come out, ending up at the end of the game there with 49 points, and they had another 14 they had at halftime. So that kind of tells you, it's as if the camel's back was broke at halftime. You could see when they went off the field they were tired. It was, you know, it was kind of nasty weather too, and maybe that bothered their game plan a little bit. Maybe they didn't know what to expect out of us either. I thought y'all did a lot of mixing up of plays and just driving hard up the middle, and that just kind of wore them down too. And of course, Wells was, you know, trying to scatter around there. He did a little running, so I think we just had a kind of, you know, we had so many different things that we were doing. Different guys running the ball, but Wells would act like he's going to throw and take off running and get them confused. And but you know, the 2 weeks prior to that, they had scored 40-something points in each game, and I know it was a disappointment for them to come away with only 14 points. But I was like, when I was looking at the point score last week, when you talked about, well, you know, they've done quite well, and they've got some boys. I went back and was looking at what they had done before, so I was looking at these guys, but y'all shut those guys that were scoring for them on those first 2 games, and so I still felt like, you know, y'all were looking for those guys. You knew who was going to take that ball, what they were going to do, and so the defense was standing up tall and getting the job done last Friday night. But we're going to be having a different game come up this Friday night. We're not going to be on the road.
Yeah, finally home.
Finally home. It's been a long season out on the road already. It feels like it.
4 straight weeks.
4 straight weeks.
4 straight.
We was in Fort Walton, and of course we went to Marietta and Crestview, and then Holmes County last Friday night. So we got West Florida coming up this Friday night, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. But we're going to take a little break here, hear from a couple of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
What's wrong with your fries, Joseph?
What?
Yes, they did those for Olivia.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the volleyball game was going on. It's the first time we've had a volleyball game at home. She wanted to go watch the ball. We hadn't had a home varsity match in no sports this season. Tonight was our first volleyball match. We've had a couple of JV football games, but we hadn't had a varsity football game or a varsity match at home. Nope. Tonight was the first one.
So everybody been on the road.
Everybody been on the road.
I know I went this afternoon and watched, my grandson run at middle school. You know, they've been off too. Finally, today was actually their first time running back here. They've been off everywhere else too.
We're live, I can't even 5 seconds.
All right, welcome back to WZEP, Coach's Corner here. And of course, we're on YouTube tonight. And as Joseph told me a while ago, mash the little bell, right? Is that what you said, Joseph? He's too busy talking to
What?
his friends. You said mash the little bell on the screen there on the YouTube?
Yep.
Yeah. Punch it, hit it, what do you do?
You just smash it and it has a drop down button and you hit all and you'll get notified when we go live and stuff
Okay.
like that.
So, when you get that little thing, let you know whenever we go live at WZEP. Well, Coach, we got the game with West Florida coming up Friday night. What does it look like for them?
Well, they went back from old school football. I mean, they're single wing, too tight, running midline, inside, outside veer. Some of the stuff we used to do back in the '80s and stuff you don't see every week. Just a lot of smash mouth football. They're gonna do the same thing over and over and over and over. They're gonna play very good defense and try to get after you. But last year they were spread all over the field, throwing every snap. And this year they got everything kind of bunched up in there and running a lot of beer.
Yeah, I remember last year, they were just flinging that ball, it seemed like everywhere, so this year we look forward to be a little different. So we encourage everybody out there to get up and, come down to Yates Memorial Friday night, support the Braves. And, last week's game, standouts that you want to, mention, brag on the boys, I thought did an excellent job on both sides of the ball, both offense and defense, but,
Yeah, Dominic Goodwin, he'd come back from an injury and he had 3 touchdowns in the first half. Nate C had over 100 yards rushing again for the third straight week. He got to hold on to the ball a little better. He wants to carry it for the Braves, but he had a couple fumbles, which we don't allow.
they were critical fumbles, I think.
Yeah, they was. Drive killers.
We were moving and moving.
Got Reyes in the end zone, fullback one time, got C a touchdown. Brought in Little Whitwest, the backup quarterback. He hit Kale for a touchdown late in the game to kind of get the clock running. But overall, once we they was killing us a little bit with belly weak, kind of cross blocking us. And once we figured that out and kind of shut that down, then I thought the defense is getting better every week. We're definitely a lot better than Mariana. We got some players back, getting a little bit healthy now, and it kind of frees us up a little bit. Captain Zopro just played really good at inside linebacker. Reyes played very good tackle. Kyron Campbell's playing super good for a 10th grader. We got Dylan Lutham as a 10th grader that stepped in last week that's playing really good. We still got a lot of young players, but they're starting to understand what we want to do and how we do it. And I think we've gotten better every week on defense and offensively wise, we should be pretty good.
Yeah, just kind of get some more experience in those young men, and like you said, several 10th graders there. But it seems like to me, as watching it each game, we seem to be getting a little stronger on defense. They seem to be gathering up what's happening and thinking about what's going on in front of them there. And we're trying to yell, look, this is what's happening. But I think some of them are starting to realize, this happens, we got to do this and this. We got to get those plays in their mind. And I noticed with Holmes County, they had a lot of repetition of the same plays over and over. Kept trying to figure out a way to bunch it one way or the other. And it was kind of the same the week before when we were in Crestview. They were left side to the right side, left side to the right side, trying to find a weak spot, just looking for a weak spot. So it seemed like last Friday night there wasn't a weak spot left or right. We were shooting our own selves there a couple of times, but we seemed to handle them pretty well. So Friday night, we've got West Florida coming in, and we get to beat home for once this season. So we encourage everybody out there to load up and get to the game. Joseph went and made him some coffee. I just smelled some coffee pot out there. Other people moving around, but we invite you too to come on down to Cafe Nola on any Tuesday evening that we're here, and you can come in and speak with us. But come in and get you some of that good gumbo. We're gonna take another little break right here and hear from a couple of our sponsors, and then we'll come back and more Coach's Corner here on WZEP AM 1460 and WZEP on weekly.
It's hot coffee. What do you expect? You think the coffee's gonna be automatically cold? It came out of the pot. It says, I spelled coaches wrong on live. I realized I can't change it now. It says Couch's Corner.
Couch's Corner. Okay, we're on the couch. We're on the couch.
There's a couch right there, so it's close enough. Dirty.
C-O-U-C-H, huh?
I realize that now after I was like, yeah. Five.
Well, we've been informed that it's Couch's Corner tonight, not Coach's Corner. Joseph, we misspelled, I guess, on YouTube tonight.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair.
So it's Couch's Corner, not Coach's Corner. Coach, as we look down the season, on down past West Florida coming up, what are you looking at? What are you thinking?
Well, we got West Florida coming to town this week, and then we'll have an open week. Then we start our district, and we'll start the South Walton at home, and then we'll have another bye week, and then we'll have to go to Catholic, and then we come back home with Bay High, Freeport, and wind the season up with Bluffstown. But out of our next 6 games, I think 5 of them are at home. So it's going to be pretty good to be at home. We're tired of being on the road for the last 4, but we just invite everybody to come out. And I think we're getting a little bit better each week, and hopefully we'll be playing our best football by the end of the season.
And we have to admit, it's been a building season. I mean, we lost a lot of tremendous players last year that graduated, but that doesn't mean that these young men that's out there are not the same capable of doing the same thing that those young men did. I've seen spurts of this stuff. I'm waiting for them just to go realize that they can do this, and then just, sometimes, you see a kid out there and you watch him and you know he's got what it takes. It's like he's holding himself back, almost like he doesn't completely believe that he can do it. And then when it does open up and he busts through there, you can see that big old grin on their face when they run back to the side of the line, and we're sitting there looking at them. Over the first few games here of the season, you can see it. It's like, man, there's a bell ringing in their head. Hey, this is how we're supposed to do it. And to me, last Friday night, it all came together that way. Of course, Friday night there was tragic news. Have a young player that down at Port St. Joe who passed away, and we want to say our condolences to the school, the community, and to his family. What a shock it was, and it always is when any young person dies, but for a young man that seemed to be a little spark for their team down there, and to just pass away that way, it's you just don't know. And I don't know, have you heard what they thought might have happened to him?
I know they're doing an autopsy and check. I can't speculate. I can't say. I wasn't there. I heard he might have tested positive the week before for COVID. You don't know that because you wasn't there. It's just, you hear all kinds of stuff. So I don't like to talk about stuff, especially stuff I don't know. Right. I know he was a very good player. His older brother was a very good player, great family. I think his mama worked at the schoolhouse. I think they had a big gathering there for the school with some teams coming in today, and I hope they know that we was there in spirits. We couldn't be there, as far down there as it was, but I mean, it's gonna be a rough season for those coaches and for the principals and the administrators and the players, and, I just hope, wish peace on the family, because it's a terrible situation.
It really is. And so that's one of the reasons when we talk about, prayer and all, that we feel like it's very important. And, prayer for this family and that community of Port St. Joe, that's a big lick to take like that. And we just don't ever know in life when our time comes up. And it's, good Lord said in the blink of an eye, things can change. And that's all part of life, but sometimes it's really hard to take. Friday night, the Yates Memorial, Coach White and all those Braves will be ready for you to be up in them stands and yell and scream. I want to say for a rainy night last Friday night, we had a good crowd. And they were yelling and screaming up there for you, Coach, and for the team, and I'm sure it's going to happen this Friday night. We encourage everybody to load up. Bring grandma and grandpa, bring a cushion, whatever you need to do to sit on the bleachers there and support the Braves. We're going to take a little break. We'll come right back, and a little bit more of Coach's Corner, not Couch's Corner, as it shows on YouTube. Yeah, over here.
I was just typing, I didn't realize it said
It's just
couch.
lip sync.
I can change your post.
There was some other kid that was in practice of the middle school that passed away last week. Sue, I heard that posted up there, yeah. It was in middle school. I think it was 14.
Dirty.
But I remember that even when I was in high school, we had some players that passed away, in the Chattanooga area that, of course, you never did know what happened. It was just, it was a tragedy.
Can't speculate.
Ted.
Just feel sorry for the families.
5.
And welcome back to Coach's Corner here on WZEP and WZEP on YouTube. Coach White with us tonight. He had his gumbo. We invite you to come down and have your gumbo if you haven't had any tonight. We recommend it highly. Make sure you get some bread with it, because you're going to want to get every little drop out of the bowl there. It's kind of embarrassing if you pick up the bowl. You do that at home, but maybe not out in public so much. Well, Coach, it's Friday night. I'll be here before we turn around. We're getting into kind of what I would say the heat of the season. After this week, we're starting those district games, and that means a lot. We got to get everybody pumped up for that. The one I hate to go to so much because it's so tough. And that's down in Pensacola Catholic, the big Tron and all the noise they create. I tell you what, they come to play, and we'll have to show up. We tested both last year twice. They came here, we beat them, and then in the playoffs they came to play. So I guess the boys will be really wishing they could get a little revenge coming up this time, but we got to work.
We're a long way from that game. We're not worried about that game. We got to play it Friday night.
And then the next Friday night, and then we get to it. We off those nights. We got those nights you said for those couple of weeks in there, and just a lot of time there to have to prepare. But I'll give y'all time to get people that might get a little injured or twisted ankles or whatever. All right, Friday night, the Yates Memorial. We'd invite you to come on out and be a part of Walton football. We're going to have a lot of folks there. I will get there early. Bring a cushion to sit on the things. If you hadn't done it in a while, and you're like me, you get a little older, you need a little padding. And we had a little padding Friday night up there, but it kept getting wet, and I was sitting on that little chair. Of course, that drizzle. But right now, we got Francine, who is a Category 1 hurricane. Looks like it's gonna be around, southern Louisiana, maybe St. Charles area, somewhere back in there. Gonna throw a little weather our way, but by Friday evening, it looks like we're gonna be in pretty good shape.
It'll be beautiful.
So it'll be a good time to come on out to the game. Hopefully we won't have any rain the way it looks now, what they're predicting, and that's Francine ahead and go right on up into Arkansas through Louisiana. And, our prayers will be with the folks in Louisiana and Arkansas and into Alabama because, those things do have a tendency to spin up some tornadoes. So, could even spin over in our area. So everybody out there take care and, hunker down and, just be in prayer for those that's going to face. It's only a category 1, but that can change quickly too. You never know out there will go what could happen. But until Friday night, this is Tom Fleetwood along with Coach White here. We wish y'all a very blessed week. And come on out, be a part of the Braves on Friday night at Yates Memorial Stadium. That's right, we are at home. And we want to say, go Braves. All right, Gary, you can play the rest of those commercials.
Okay, we already gone through them all.
Okay.
All right then.
Man.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Get home and
You think I'm well with the, age children?
Not too much for peace.
Didn't you put this anywhere?
Nah, I didn't leave it right there. That's fine.
yeah, we'll get all of it.
Oh.
We got 2 young legs here.